You're lying in bed. The room is quiet, everyone else in the house is asleep, but your brain is running a highlight reel you didn't ask for. The argument was hours ago. Maybe it was with your partner, maybe your roommate, maybe someone at work over something that should not have mattered this much. You played it fine in the moment. You said what you said, they said what they said, and then it ended. Unresolved. Incomplete. Now you are replaying the part where you didn't say the right thing. You are rehearsing the version where you did. You are imagining what they are thinking. You are writing the apology and then deleting it. You are building the case for why you were right. And sleep will not come. This is not anxiety. This is not weakness. This is your brain doing something it is literally wired to do. And there is a name for it. People will tell you to just let it go. They will say you are being too sensitive, that you are dwelling, that you need to move on. But here is what is actually happening. Your brain does not experience an unresolved argument as an emotional event. It experiences it as an unfinished task. And your brain has a system specifically built to keep unfinished tasks alive in your memory until they are complete. You are not overthinking. You are not broken. You are experiencing something researchers first documented almost 100 years ago. And once you understand what your brain is actually doing, the 3 a.m. spiral starts to make a different kind of sense. In the 1920s, a Russian psychologist named Bluma Zeigarnik was sitting in a Vienna restaurant. She noticed something strange about the waiters. They could remember every detail of an order that had not yet been delivered. But the moment the food hit the table, the order disappeared from their memory almost instantly. She brought this back to her lab and tested it properly. The results were clear. Unfinished tasks stay active in the mind. Completed tasks get filed away and released. Your brain does not treat incomplete experiences as the past. It treats them as the present, ongoing, still running. An argument that ended without resolution is not over to your brain. The loop is still open, and an open loop demands attention. But the Zeigarnik Effect is only half the story. The second piece is what researchers call rumination. Rumination is not just thinking about something. It is repetitive, passive focus on distressing thoughts without moving toward a solution. Psychologist Susan Nolen-Hoeksema spent decades studying this. What she found was that rumination does not feel like suffering. It feels like problem solving. Your brain at 3 a.m. is not spiraling. From the inside, it feels like working through the problem, reviewing the evidence, building clarity. But rumination does not close the loop. It orbits the loop. You rehearse the argument again. You find a better comeback. Your brain briefly feels like progress was made. And then the loop opens again because nothing actually resolved. Meanwhile, your nervous system is still activated. Cortisol is still elevated. The part of your brain responsible for emotional threat detection is still running. Sleep requires your nervous system to wind down, but a system that believes a threat is unresolved does not wind down. This is not a failure of willpower. This is your brain doing exactly what it was built to do. It is keeping the loop open. Because evolution taught it that unresolved conflict has consequences. Think about this. You have too many tabs open on your browser. Most of them are not doing anything, but they are using memory. They are slowing everything else down. And one of them, somewhere, is playing audio you cannot find. That tab is the argument. Your brain works the same way. Every unresolved experience stays open in the background, using processing power, surfacing at random moments, hard to close. And here is the part most people miss. You cannot force the tab closed by ignoring it. You cannot close it by telling yourself to stop thinking about it. Suppressing a thought, research shows, makes that thought more frequent, not less. The only way to close the tab is to give the brain something that functions like resolution. Not the resolution of the argument itself, just something that satisfies the brain's need for completion. Your brain did not develop this system to ruin your sleep. It developed it because, for most of human history, unresolved conflict with the people around you was genuinely dangerous. An unresolved argument within your tribe meant instability. Instability meant potential exile. Exile, in an environment without shelter or food security, often meant death. So your brain learned to treat unresolved social conflict the same way it treats any other unresolved threat. With vigilance, with continued processing, with reluctance to power down. The people who stayed alert after conflict, who kept reviewing it, who prepared for what might come next, those people survived more often. Their brains got passed down. You did not inherit a broken brain. You inherited a brain built for a world where unresolved tension meant real danger. The environment changed, the brain did not. And so at 2 a.m., in a completely safe room, your nervous system is still running the same threat protocol it ran 10,000 years ago. So what do you actually do? 3 techniques, each with a name. Not because names are clever, because naming something gives your brain a framework to hold onto. And frameworks, research shows, create a sense of structure that partially satisfies the brain's need for resolution. The first is called the provisional close. Researcher Roy Baumeister found something important when studying the Zeigarnik Effect. The brain does not always need a task to be finished. It needs a credible plan for finishing it. So write down one sentence. Not an apology, not a solution. Just what you intend to do about it. I'll text them in the morning. We will talk when I'm not this tired. I need to think about my part before I bring this up again. That sentence gives your brain permission to release the loop. Not forever, just for tonight. Try it. It takes 30 seconds and it works. The second technique is the body reset. When the argument loop activates, your nervous system shifts into a state of alert called sympathetic arousal. Heart rate increases slightly, breathing gets shallower, muscle tension rises. Your body cannot sleep in this state, and telling yourself to relax while your body is in alert mode does not work. But physiological tools can shift the state directly. Physiologist Andrew Huberman's research points to a specific technique called the physiological sigh. Double inhale through the nose, then one long exhale through the mouth. Do this 3 times. The long exhale activates your parasympathetic nervous system. Your heart rate slows. The alert state begins to quiet. You are not fixing the argument. You are changing the biological state that is keeping you awake. The third technique is the structured discharge. If the loop keeps reopening after the first 2, try this. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Write everything. The argument, what you wish you had said, what you think they meant, what you are afraid of, what you actually want. Do not edit, do not perform, just empty the loop onto the page. When the timer ends, close the notebook or document. Psychologist James Pennebaker studied expressive writing for decades. He found that externalizing emotional experiences reduces their hold on working memory. The brain stops recycling the thought once it exists somewhere outside itself. You are not journaling, you are downloading the open tab. Some of you will try these tonight, and they will help. But some of you will notice something underneath the argument loop. A pattern. Why do I always need the last word? Why does silence from them feel like abandonment? Why do I shut down instead of speaking? Those reactions are not about the argument. They are older than that. There is a different explanation for why some people's nervous systems respond to conflict the way yours does, and a different place to start. That video is on screen now. I will see you there.